Are you asking us or the live viewers?
I
Live
I was
viewers.
asking a
Okay.
question before,
I
and
was
I
not
wanted
asking
answered
you.
in while we're recording. Ralph, how do you route your mic and your computer? Do you work from a sound card or do you plug it straight into your computer? How do you work? Because I'm curious.
The mic is a USB mic straight into the computer. I have the Apollo Twin. Okay, you can no, I don't even think you can put a mic in there.
Oh, the Apollo
Uh,
Twin, because that's we are always wondering why you always drop out every now and then. Is that the Apollo software
it's
or?
connection, I guess.
Yeah, you know, uh, I couldn't get the stupid thing to work right away again, but I'm not sure if it's the cable or something.
You
Um,
you can plug a mic in the Apollo Twin in the back, no?
He's looking.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is
two
it
lines
gone?
in XLR.
XLR.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, could you share the live stream? It's
Oh yeah, we're live. That's what Joey meant.
yeah, we're live on YouTube and we're live on Instagram.
Hello, YouTubes.
Hello, YouTube. Sounds so old, huh?
Yeah, especially if you know Ronald something like that.
How do you share?
Hello, YouTube.
We're such a boomer. How do you share a live stream on Instagram? How? Like,
You don't.
How?
can't you
You
share a
don't.
live
Oh,
stream?
I see. Arts. Oh, wow. This is real. This is Inception, man. But
Yeah,
it's
What?
only
Only
Jopke.
me.
yeah. I don't know how it works. As in, I don't know
Let's see when my thumb comes up and how much
because
delay
we're
there
with
is.
the three of us, right? So I'm not sure how the software decides
Look
on
at
who.
yourself, Jay.
Look at
Maybe
yourself.
if you speak.
No, because it's until now it's only you, so I'm not sure if that changes. But take your moment. This is your moment, Jay. This is your moment.
My
Yeah,
new track is out now. On my way on Spotify. Go stream it.
you can
Hey.
copy the link
How can you copy the link?
with the three dots in the top.
And then how you share it?
You just post a cool picture of yourselves with a mic.
And then you
Maybe
go.
we should call this podcast Three Boomers
Three-
Try to Figure Out How They Can Do a
I
Podcast, how they can record with a mic,
I
how
think
they
I
go live.
mentioned that last time that a better name for this podcast was like Boomer DJs.
Boomer DJs. Yeah, it would suit. I
Hey,
think it was
talk for
funny.
yourself. Hey, I'm just coping, dude.
I made a post on Instagram with like promote my new track, and I was like, I just had this stupid idea, so I made it, and I was going over to James, who's next door here. I was like, is this like too boomer? Is this too like that you can see I'm old, an old person trying
Yeah,
to
you can see
make a
you're
social
old.
media post? And then Joey with the artist coaching comments boomer, which I thought was really funny because that's exactly
Hey everybody, we're
what I come
live
across
right
as.
now. It's Joey and Jopke and me, and
Hey,
Chiglin, and
Hey,
you can join us in our really interesting conversations. Ciao.
we will
exactly.
see. It's always a question how interesting our conversation is. Although I must say, I receive weekly messages from people
From your
telling that
mother.
they really enjoy the podcast and the live stream also of last week as well.
I do think
That's cool.
there isn't many EDM dance music scene podcasts. So I think if we like get a bit more
Traction.
subjects, I think we need a bit more subjects, and maybe there is just not that much going on. I'm not sure, but I think if that like picks up, we could really be the pioneers of EDM podcasts.
Bullshit radio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bullshit
to be
radio.
honest, I mean, all the preparation that goes in it. I mean, we're talking about subjects we can talk about. I mean, we're talking about no, we're just
No,
putting the mic on and go with it. So
which
can't
is
really
also
blame
good.
people not sharing it.
It's no, it's also good because I think you can hear because one time I wasn't there and then I listened back to you two, and it was really like fun because you can hear you guys having fun. It's an actual conversation
Yeah.
that really works, I
Thumbs up.
think.
That's the feedback I get the most. Like what people like is that it's just a genuine conversation, no preparation. Like just,
No.
and
Yeah.
especially with the live stream, like people can send in questions during the live stream, and we just pick it up whenever we want. I think that's it's a nice concept, you know.
The
Like
charm of it.
it's the charm of it is that there's no schedule.
Yeah, I
I think
don't
we're
like to be
also.
called a boomer though. I have to say, you guys are really boomers, but man, everything is set here.
I think we're officially millennials. Um, but
I don't know. Like
boomers also.
when are you a boomer?
Yeah, you
Hey,
must be like
I'm full
baby
on
boomer
Gen
after the
Z.
war, so like from the 50s or something, 50s,
Hmm.
60s.
'50s?
If you're
Ralph
born
Ralph's
there,
almost a boomer.
if you're born in the 50s or 60s, no, if you're born in the 50s or 60s, I think you're a boomer.
Or in the 50s or
Like
60s.
after the war,
Baby
baby
boomer. Yeah,
boomers.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I can remember the war.
They shut off his glasses, and he's been wearing them since
Exactly.
to show.
Still broken.
You
Yeah.
know, hey, for the ones who missed it, it's like the new design. If you lay in bed and you're on your pillow, and then it's not nice to have glasses on, but
You're
these
watching memes.
glasses, it's all good.
It's
Hey, by
all
the way,
good.
I'm not on my 5G. That's gonna be
Oh,
tricky.
that's going to be a problem. In five, four,
Or
three.
It's gonna cut out
Yeah.
I'll turn
real
on the
soon.
5G.
Okay.
Real
No,
soon.
then it quits. Then it quits.
Oh man, stupid
Just keep it
Riverside.
like this. Yeah. Anyway,
Riverside,
guys,
motherfucker.
to everyone who's joining in to the live stream on YouTube or Instagram, welcome. If this is new for you, we are doing a weekly podcast episode with Ralph from Bassjackers and Jobke from J Hardway. Huh?
From J
Joke.
Hardware.
Yeah,
That
from
sounds
J
funny.
Why
Hardway.
do you call me Ralph? By the way, my name actually is
Base.
Ralph.
Yeah, but in English
His
it's
name is
Ralph.
Base.
Yeah, but
And
why should you? I mean, why should you name somebody? It's Ralph. Just call me together with Ralph from Base Checkers.
Ralph.
I think your name is Base, and the other guy's name is Jackers, and
Jackers.
that's why when you
My
came together, you were
son's
like
name
Base
is
Jackers.
Jack. So
Is that connected? Like is that why he's named Jack?
to be honest, no. But I always when I was playing when I was young, I mean last year or so, and I did like we were like playing army dudes or whatever, and I always thought like Jack was a cool name. It's like, uh,
Hey yo, Captain Jack.
I mean, he's a cool guy, and but it's like this tough name, Jack. Sounds cool, and yeah. Then I was getting a son at the shop. Sounds like that, but no, we were in expectance of a son, and then I was like, let's name him Jack because it's a cool name.
There's a guy, Ivanson, in the chat on Instagram who says, my son is named Bass.
Wow,
Whoa, that's pretty cool. A
cool.
boss or base.
No, I think it's Bass, double S. And I think he was in my live stream yesterday.
He
I think
won
I
at the
think he's
Sun
from
naming game.
streaming. I don't know. Anyway, to everyone who's new at this podcast, we're doing this every week for already 3 months, roughly 3 months, longer, but weekly since 3 months. And if you want to join the conversation or have any questions, you can leave it in the chat, or you can join our Discord, which is in the profile on Instagram.
We
And
like you to send in questions
yeah,
because we actually don't have any clue what to talk
What to
about.
talk about? Other than I had a frustration the other day.
oh yeah.
Um,
Well, tell us about your frustration.
I told Joey already I have a frustration. I need to air it out.
Hmm.
So this is the thing. When you just start making music, you download some software, maybe illegally, and you mess
Maybe.
around until you find out, hey, this is actually pretty cool, and I can do something with it. So you buy it. Um, Now that I buy all my plugins, every once in a while I run into problems with logging on to these verification things, and I work on a laptop and a desktop, and I cannot move all the licenses over and all that kind of bullshit. I just want to, if I pay for something, I just want it to work. I don't want to jump through all these hoops to get a plugin working. and I thought it was really annoying when Native Instruments, yes, you guys, you're probably listening to this, you locked me out of my
Fuck
account,
faces.
probably automatic because I logged in too many times. But I mean, I have several passwords for several accounts, so I tried different passwords. So you can't literally blame me for logging in 5 times.
Oh,
And
that's
then I was
so
logged out.
annoying.
And because I was logged in before and bought something, and then I tried to log in on my laptop again to install, I couldn't log in and I was blocked out. And I just spent like 500 euros or something on plugins that I then couldn't use. It's just that kind of stuff. It's like, come on, guys, don't
No, I gotta
do
say,
that.
Reavix with Nexus, they got it right. With I don't
Cloud
know how it's
service.
called, huh?
Their cloud service.
Yeah, it's insane. It's
Yeah,
really good. I
it is.
love
It
it.
is.
It's plug and play.
I love it too.
Native Instruments can be a hassle,
Yep.
true. Yeah, and it's I
Waves are really like trying to trick you a lot of times, and they have a really weird system. Waves has a subscription system,
mhm.
so you can pay like 300, 400 a year for the whole bundle, something like that, which is amazing because then you can try out their whole bundle and see,
Yeah, I
okay,
really
next year I'm
like
only
Waves.
going to get those. But what happens now is like I like owning my plugins that I use. So I want to buy a one-time license. And then they say after a year you don't get updates anymore. That's one where I'm like, that's just sad. And also, if you do update the whole subscription bundle, Fruity Loops, maybe this is a FL Studio problem, then doesn't recognize that Wave Shell plugin. And
Mhm.
some projects don't load, so you have to reload all your plug. It's like such a hassle. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
As producers, we if we pay for stuff, don't make it that difficult because
To be
then
honest,
people
that's
go
why
back
I
to pirating.
for some plugins that I actually bought, I still use the correct
The correct
versions.
version, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Really?
that's what's gonna happen.
because of the old files. Yeah.
Yeah,
But okay, so what changed in there? Because when I left with producing, let's say 10 years ago, few of those companies went to the cloud, as in they started using
Mhm.
those cloud services. But to me, sounds pretty easy, right? Like you just, let's say you get a new laptop, you download the software, so the plugin itself, and you have to get access to it through a license key. That's the only thing you need, right? Which is just a
Don't
simple
get me
file.
started on all the software shit.
Yeah,
Man,
it's
I
sometimes
like.
terrible.
why don't your old projects just open up?
Yeah,
And oh, don't even try to relocate some of your sample folders because you'll be fucked.
yeah.
And
I
yeah,
think what Ralph said is true. Like Nexus really changed that because I have a new laptop, so I want my laptop basically to be a copy of my desktop because I want to
Mhm.
work on both, like
oh,
when
I
I have
would
both
pay
road.
good money for
And
it
like
when it would be a
Nexus,
button copy
Nexus is like
exactly.
you download the software and it's like, hey, you want whole your Nexus installed, including all your packs that you had? Yes, and then you do it, and it takes a little while. It takes maybe 10 minutes, but it's all installed, or yeah, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. It's all installed. Every project Nexus always opens without any question, without any hassle. There's
Mm.
no delay. It's
Does
just
take up a
amazing.
lot of your hard drive, Nexus.
True, true. Yeah,
Yeah, but
true.
Next is sample based, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
exactly.
also shit like Omnisphere, and I think the whole contact libraries are pretty much all wave based.
Mm.
And but contact, man, sometimes I
and that's
don't even use it
native
anymore.
instruments. Native
Yeah.
instruments. And that's exactly that with all those libraries and where you can put libraries, and some of them do integrate very well with contact. So you that works. So it's loads and all the visuals are loaded. But then sometimes other packs don't. So you have to put them in a folder. It's just come on.
It's also kind of weird. It really influences your workflow because I tend to grab earlier to plugins that just work properly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I also gotta say, FL Studio is not always the kindest when you fuck it up a little bit because I have all these 46, no, 64, 32-bit, all going through each other, and I sometimes just want to clean it up, but it doesn't let you, and then your whole plugin folder can be kind of a jungle. Although I gotta say, you do it so much that you get easily adjusted.
Yeah.
But yeah, could be somewhere a little bit more user friendly. I do gotta say, most of the plugins, it used to be really harder that you had to go into your BIOS, open up all these kind of, let's call it ports, but that's more a router thing. But and then you could use them. But
Yeah.
nowadays it's
What
a lot easier.
I think companies like Nexus just get it right, and a lot of other companies need to work on their programming of all the software. What I
Yeah.
do notice, I have this like sample collection, which you can open in Fruity Loops very easily on the left. Which I always was very that was like to me kind of like holy, and that was like I always need that because it has my these splice samples and these packs. And what I realize now, we live in this amazing era where on Splice and on the Fruity Loops cloud, there's so many amazing samples that sometimes I'm like, hey, I want to have that kind of kick. And I'm just like going into Splice, I find something that comes close or something that works. And I tend to not use like a lot of my old samples anymore. And just like every track kind of decide, hey, I want to make this kind of kick, and have a few favorites in Splice, and that's always, of course, on the cloud right away. So that's kind of what I like. But that's also my workflow just changed
Mm.
there.
It really changes your workflow. And but I gotta say, I always revisit my folders. Sometimes I also take the time to cut up all my tracks and make samples out of them, because those sometimes are really like giving you that characteristic. In my case, bass checker sound. In your case, it would be J Hardway sound, obviously.
Yeah,
And no, but yeah, sometimes stuff like Splice, uh, yeah, kind of you go into this rabbit hole. You gotta be
true, true.
wary of that,
Yeah,
that you go into
I
deep.
think to explain it, I do like to use the same kick a lot of times, and like the
You should
same
change it.
kick and bass. And if I have a good one, or if I find a new good one, I've been in a little bit of a discovery mode producer wise, which is
Mm,
very fun. But if I now find a good one, then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, like you do, save that kick and then with that bass in a folder. And
Yeah.
I know like, oh, I need for that kind of track, I can use that because that really works. But
It's
then
like
it
the
needs to have also have proved itself like on a dance floor, because that's where you want your track to pop. So
yeah, and
yeah.
having like a self-made preset pack, let's say, really helps in production flow as well, because you don't have to think about like, oh, which kick do I use to just to bang out the idea of your head.
Yeah.
You just pick the kicks that have already proven themselves, that you know fit your sound. It really helps to improve the speed of your workflow.
mm.
Yeah, to get the
Yeah,
idea going
Yeah,
sometimes.
to get the
yeah.
Yeah,
idea going, and then you can still change it afterwards, but at least you have an idea, a rough idea of how it's going to sound.
yeah.
I think I never stayed with the first kick I've chosen.
No?
It always changes, yeah, because
Mm,
then you put in sounds and you can hear, okay, I miss this kind of characteristic, and then you keep on searching, then you go into layering, and then it just becomes a big, big mess that
Mm.
nobody
yeah.
understands
I
anymore.
I was in away for a week on tour 2 weeks ago, and I had my new laptop with me. The speakers are pretty nice. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna just produce something on the speakers, and that works really well for getting an idea out there, because you're like not so much focused on it needs to sound like
Yeah.
this because it's on a laptop speaker.
But then
The
you were
only
playing it
problem
in
is,
the club and you were going like,
well,
oh,
I didn't play, yeah, like, but then I come back to my studio and I'm like, holy shit, this mix is such a mess. So it has two things, because yes, I have a good idea, but for me to bring that idea into a like good mix, it's really difficult to like, because you basically need to start with the kick and the bass all the way at the beginning,
Yeah.
which is then quite difficult in a project like that.
It's
But it
actually
does help just creating ideas, and then who knows, I might send that to someone for a collab. Maybe Ralph can explain how I can send you demos. We explain this about every week.
like a regular topic, like every week.
Yeah,
Like,
but
how to
if I
send
don't like
demos.
it, I don't respond. So
yeah, exactly. Hey guys, I have a topic which I wanted to talk about, and I forgot about it, but now I remember.
Nice.
I received an email from a client of mine who forwarded an email letter from the Rob Abelow. I'm not sure if anyone knows him, but he sends out emails about the music industry,
Ah,
and he
good old
came
Rob.
out with some interesting statistics, which I wanted to talk about with you. He dived into the music industry and found out that the streaming subscriber growth is really declining since 2019 and rapidly. So there's not many new people coming into the streaming world. And streaming
But
revenue
the growth declines, or
growth. Yeah,
okay,
the growth went from 28% in 2019 to 5.7% last year.
okay.
And at the same time, the global streaming revenue growth are also down from 21% to 10%.
So there's less growth,
There's a lot less
Yeah,
growth. It's a
that
lot
is
less growth.
but still growth
yeah.
True. Yeah.
with th on the end, which
So
makes you pronounce it like growth.
does that mean that we've kind of hit mass adoption and that the whole world is streaming, like all the people are on board at this point?
Think we're approaching some kind of a line. I'm actually surprised that I can hear like 10% and 6% growth still. Streaming kind of game already went big in 2015 or so.
Yeah.
And then it just
We're almost
started.
10 years
So
further. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not so surprised.
So now comes the interesting statistic, which is that physical music, so vinyl and CDs, have grown faster than streaming in the past year.
Yeah, but it also
yeah,
got
yeah.
really, really little. Yeah.
So if you look at
But that was like vinyl sales were probably nothing. And then if you sell basically two vinyl records, it's a growth of 2,000,
I
200%.
wonder
I
I
mean,
wonder how
Yeah,
they measure it.
I follow Jopke there as well. I mean, if physical sales are such at a low, it's
Mhm.
easier to double than or triple even
True.
than when it would be a big market. To be
Yeah.
honest, I couldn't see the need for it. It's kind of a niche. I like it. It's cool. Still, it's sometimes cool to have physical stuff. But yeah, music consumption, it actually changes really a lot. I mean, I think more of the music is being consumed at socials like Insta and TikTok.
Yeah.
Swiping. I mean, I know tracks through swiping, and then sometimes I look them up on Spotify and be like, how can this have not so many streams? And
And then you
sometimes
contact
it's
like,
like,
hey,
oh
collab,
shit,
bro.
This is
yeah.
actually funny because I also discover music through like TikTok and stuff. There's this one song that always plays under like, oh, remember this stuff from the 90s? That's when we were young, you know? But it's like, it has this really cool nostalgic feel, I think, because it reminds me of those like key generator music from the
Mm,
90s you used. But anyways, I told my
key
girlfriend like,
generator.
"Hey, look at this song. It sounds really nostalgic, right? Doesn't it?" And she's like, "Well, to me it just sounds like you on TikTok. This is what reminds me of you scrolling TikTok." And every once in a while that sound
It's like a
comes up.
trigger.
Ah,
Yeah,
we now all know your algorithm,
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and yeah.
What?
Aquatic ambience is it called, I think. You should
Oh,
really
check
check
it
it
out.
out. It's really cool. I think I'm not sure if we can use it on the podcast, but because then it will be
No, but I gotta say, the
unmuted.
'90s are all the rage right
Aquatic
now.
Ambience by Skizzy.
90s
Skizzy.
are 90s are like the rage at this point, right? Everything's getting bootlegged.
Hey, I also I like this
David
new
Guetta
track
again, huh?
by Artemis.
Artemas?
Yeah, Artemis. I'm not sure if I pronounce it right.
Which track?
I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it hits.
Hmm.
It's a hit.
Is it radio or
Yeah, it's a cool track.
okay?
Kind of also old school vibes, and
Check
they
it.
really did a cool job. I think it will be a big hit. It's already high up in the charts on Spotify.
Hmm, I'll check it out.
David Guetta again, huh? With One Direction.
Which one?
And they use like
Yeah,
um
Ozone. No,
Dragostea Dinte.
Dragostea Tintea.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah,
To me, that was another moment like another one,
yeah, another
another
one.
one, another one.
And it's gonna be a hit, and you're gonna
Gonna be
sing it
it.
along, but it's David Guetta doesn't need that, I think. But
Do you know we already also had a version of it? Sometimes kind of frustrating. We have a lot of versions and a lot of covers.
I think your problem mostly is you're too early. You're such
No,
an
no, I'm
early
not
adapter.
early enough.
early adapter.
It's frustrating when you see somebody pooping out a track that you're just
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
on, and but I gotta say it also makes you kind of um I don't really go into my productions too deep unless I know they're gonna be released. Then I'm going into depth and
But what's that story behind the Dragostanite? What's
So it was a hit, and
your
now
yeah,
David
but
Guetta
your
has it.
version? Like when or why did
Oh,
you start
his
it?
version.
oh, started it maybe January.
Okay, so because you thought like this is a track that
It's
hasn't
cool.
been done
Yeah, I
yet.
like the melody. And but Wern didn't do a cheesy cover version.
Shots
No.
fired.
No, I actually liked it. I like Ryan Tedder. He's one of the best songwriters there is. So
Did you write
it,
that one?
yeah, it's One Direction.
Hmm.
So
No, but I meant like the original one, the
oh
Dragon.
no no no, I don't even know who wrote it. I always thought it was these like from the Eastern Europe kind of
Yeah, I
Wasn't
think
thing,
it
so.
also
and
like a Eurovision Song Festival song?
could be. I actually don't know, but I really
It
like
was
the
a bit.
melody.
It was one of those hits that just went viral before viral was even
Yeah,
a thing.
exactly. What that was the
They invented viral.
Yeah, Maya he, Maya ha.
That's
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's a catchy one.
Oh, actually, to be honest, we did the cheesy cover vocal. Yeah, we did it in the break. We arranged it more like dance, but yeah,
I wonder how you can
guilty.
make a remake of that song without making it cheesy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's always cheesy, but
Yeah,
cheesy is good sometimes, huh?
true, true.
But
Listen,
true, we had a verse and we had it's actually an interesting song. It has kind of two chorus lines. Well,
hmm,
it's that's kind of chorus, but Maya he Maya ho. I didn't
Sounds good, man.
drink for kind of a while.
No need for auto tune.
It's also kind of a chorus line.
Hmm.
Let's call it
Yeah.
after chorus. I don't know, but it's an interesting song.
It's like how Max Martin always says you have to how he writes songs or how you can do it. Write a chorus that is very catchy and then say, okay, that's the first verse. Then you write another chorus for
Mhm.
that one, so it becomes even catchier, and then you make that the pre-chorus, and then it's kind
That's
of
cool.
a
hmm,
yeah, it's kind of a cool way to think that if you write something very catchy and think, oh, this should be the chorus, then trick your mind and be like, hey, maybe we can make even a cooler chorus, which is then seems impossible, but if you just try it,
yeah,
you might.
hmm,
True.
good tip.
And it's funny because that's also how I know Martin Garrix works. I remember having like two tracks. This is like 20, well, like 12 or something, like early. And I had like two tracks, and they two both had like a really good melody. So I was like, yeah, we should use this in one of our tracks. We were producing a lot together at the time. And he's like, well, what if we make that one the first break and the other one the second break? And I was like,
Huh?
no, but it's two tracks, man. I don't want to like. He's like, no, no, just put it whatever, all the good stuff we have right now. We put it in that one track, and it became amazing. And then also because he kind of trusts that then you come up with something cool for another
Yeah,
track again, which is very
Yeah,
important because sometimes you think this is a good idea. I need to save it or something. No, just put it out there. You'll come up with something new the next day or something.
kind of the
that's a cool
mindset
story,
of
bro.
is the
Yeah.
mindset of a lot of people who make it in a lot of ways, as in don't take the first thing as a yes, or I would say like don't
Hmm.
take everything as a yes, like take it a few steps further. Whereas continue where everyone stops. That's probably
Yeah.
the thing I want to say.
Yeah, very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I saw from that statistics was also interesting, which I really agree on, but I think it's interesting that he also mentioned it, which was knowing your fans is a superpower. Um,
Think so, yeah.
and that the direct fan relationships are the new gold. And I think that that's the thing that I really trust for the upcoming few years, is that as an artist, you should be really focusing on the connection with your fan base. Like the relationship with your fan base is the focus point for every artist. It's not about those millions of followers anymore. It's more about having 10,000 super deep super fans. I think that's more important, and servicing them instead of
Yeah.
servicing the 1 million TikTok views.
I think that's yeah, you're right. I think that's definitely gonna be huge. Although it takes longer to like become successful. It is way more satisfying, I think, if you um have something like that. I remember doing a lot of Twitch live streams,
Yeah,
and there's still guys from that Twitch live streams that would always join, that are now still every track they respond. I see all of you guys. So, but like they're really like almost fans for life because we connected like
yeah.
directly. This
You
and
share
that's
the moment together.
yeah, and that's but it's that is difficult because with some things you just get so big that it's you can't have that direct connection with all your fans anymore.
No, not
So that's
all
like
your fans, but there's. It's more like at least try.
yeah,
That I think that's the start. You know, at least you try to stay in touch with your fan base through Discord, through DMs. Like just keep responding to a few people that you see often. Um, because I think that for every artist it's the same. There are always a few names that you see come by every now and then. You know, like you just recognize the usernames at a certain point.
yeah.
Um, I still remember from back in the days, like when I started touring, that people had to mention their username to me. Like if they say like, "Oh, I'm that guy," you know, from socials. I'm
That's
this and
cool,
that.
man.
I'm like,
That's
They are
cool.
"Oh
their
yeah, I know
avatar.
that name. I don't know who you are, but I know the name." You know, like that's funny.
Actually, that's what I miss a lot of times with this like new social media way of connecting, because that's the thing what I had with Twitch. People have a weird username there, so like,
Yeah.
oh, you're that guy from Twitch. You're that
Oh,
on Twitch. Actually,
yeah.
that's really funny. And I
There are
remember
some
there was
names that now come to pass every now and then, and to be honest, I never forget them anymore. Like
Yeah.
no, you
last
keep
week,
them in
we
your
were
mind.
mentioning Josh Letizier or
Yeah.
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he sends me a demo now, I will listen. Yeah, I
He
know the
actually he
name.
actually
But
got signed to
imagine
Revealed.
if
Oh,
his
that's
name
pretty
was
cool.
Josh likes cars 35 on Twitch, and then you're like, "Hey, Josh, I'm Josh." Okay, Josh likes cars 35. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that guy.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what you have on Twitch, and you
Uh,
used to have that on a lot of forums, like the Laidback Luke forum or the Vato forum, because I remember I was Attacker Jopke, so that
Attacker
people would
Jopke.
know me as Attacker Jopke because
oh,
Attacker was my game name.
Attacker
So
Jopke.
oh man.
Attacker, jongen. I'm an attacker
Mm,
on the Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
And you
And
were
now I'm
8.
now I'm a real boomer.
yeah, like uh, my username on most gaming platforms has always been Joey Suki, but once I became a bit more famous, I started changing that into Sushi Lead.
That's cool.
I
My
don't know.
username is Rollap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
True
Amazing.
story.
but maybe
Amazing.
there's a nice tip for the listeners in here. You know, like if you want to stand out, have a name on socials that stand out, and
Yep.
just start replying and send message. People will remember. You know,
Yeah.
like it's how it works.
Yeah, but don't make it dirty.
That
No,
mouse is the exact that's actually his like his was
He
his
makes
online
music
name.
too.
who's that mouse?
But no, but like that
Deadmau
mouse with
5.
the
That was
5
Armin, right?
was actually his gamer tag, or like his online tag, because he once found a dead mouse in his computer.
Yeah,
Really?
that's
Is
cool.
that the
And it's
story?
like it is a
Yeah.
very memorable name. It's a cool story as well. But like yeah. So just use your name and change one of the
You know,
letters for for a
me and
number.
Marlon were big time Deadmau5 fanboys.
Yeah,
We
who
went to
wasn't?
Extrema here in Holland, and then we were like, and I don't even think most of the people knew him back then. And then when he had a
Early
track
adapter.
called FML, and we were like, oh, if he plays that, we're gonna go crazy, man. And then we were the only two ones jumping in the whole field, you know. And we're like, okay,
And you guys stood there like the Dutch guys, like, oh, we like
Uh,
no,
him.
no, no. I was jumping. Fuck it.
But
Hey, I had 3
Extrema
beers. It
Outdoor
was
has
totally crazy.
I love Extrema Outdoor, but that crowd is really hard to get to move because they're having like the good old time that I think is it in Brabant? I
It's
think
in
in the
Brabant.
Yeah,
south.
it's in
And
Best, right?
it's very gezellig,
Yeah,
but
but they
it's
don't
not
do
like
it
going
anymore,
crazy.
right? Extrema, it's not happening anymore. The only thing that
No,
happens
yeah,
there is, I think,
it became a lot more smaller. It
yeah, lake dance is happening over there.
Yeah,
Lake
lake
dance,
dance
yeah,
is
yeah.
happening at Aqua Best, but Extrema is a lot more smaller because it got bought by another company, I believe, and they kind of
Okay.
trimmed it down to a smaller festival.
Whoa, they bought it to trim it down. That's new
No, I
and
think it was already
refreshing.
trimmed down at that time,
Okay.
but it's not what it was like we
Oh.
back in
I
our days.
actually
It was
like it. It's a brand. Sounds cool
yeah,
also. Extreme.
exactly. I think it's even a isn't it like a Belgium thing at this point?
I actually
Yeah.
have no clue, man.
Hmm. Anyways, I just think that
Anywho.
there's something in there when you say like with the nicknames, with the usernames. It's yeah, it just works, you know.
Yeah. Attack
What?
Jopke, hey. Roll up, Attack Jopke and Sushi Lead. Here we are. But
I
I guess
probably
it's
That's
could.
also
us.
because I don't know about you guys, but I was gaming a lot when I was like 16. So it also
Oh,
reminds
I
man.
me
still
of that.
do.
And you
Me
would
too.
call
I
like
didn't
your
make
friends,
music anymore back then. Was
like
the end of my career.
one of my friends his name is Mark and his gamer tag was Merc. And he would call him like online. You would actually like on TeamSpeak and stuff. You would call
Oh,
him
yeah.
Merc. And then at home you would just call him Mark again. But it's like it was
Yeah.
just very fun.
You know, I used to game a lot with my cousin, and his name is online name was Frico with PH
Rico
because his
Rico.
real name is Philippe. And but then somebody came into the room and they were like, "Oh, you're a bit laggy, Praeco." And now I always call him Praeco.
Nice.
It's his new name.
It just sticks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys know how my name ever got founded?
I think you just
Oh,
sucked at
Joey.
DJing.
No,
So you
Suki.
said
Oh,
Joey
Suki.
Sucky.
I
Yeah,
don't know, man. Tell us.
I used to be a professional rock climber. I actually was the Dutch champion. Whoop,
What?
whoop. Yeah, as a
Oh,
little
dude.
when I was 14 or something, 15, I was number one of the Netherlands. I actually been on the European championships as well.
Wow.
But a friend of mine built his own like climbing wall, and it's a pretty it's like some sort of culture within that group of people, you know, like it's they like some of them like graffiti as well, so we started putting graffiti on that wall of that friend saying like gravity sucks. That's what he asked me to write.
Graffiti.
Yeah, graffiti.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, gravity is something else. Graffiti. But he
Rock
asked
climbers
me.
like gravity. That's just it's probably true because otherwise there would be
Yeah,
nothing.
exactly. But he asked me to write graffiti sucks on the wall, but I couldn't do graffiti. I just didn't know how. So I tried my best, and I focused so much on writing, like on creating beautiful letters, that took a step back once I was done, and it says graffiti suki instead of graffiti sucks. And a few weeks later, I had my first gig in a bar in the Netherlands, and they asked me like, which name should we put on a poster? And I was like, yeah, let's just take Joey Suki, and it never left.
That kind of
Nice.
sticks. I
That's
like it.
cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
like looking back in hindsight, I'm pretty happy with it. Still am.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, sweet.
how it all started. Yeah, so it could be, yeah, just like with you, Ralph. With what was it, Praco?
Praeco.
Praco. Sometimes it just sticks, you know, and you just
Yeah.
keep using it.
You know, a roll-up, it was a thing, I was in school and I had to do like sweep the floors or something. I probably did something. And so I was on the list at the janitor, but somebody made a typing error and it didn't say Ralph, which is my real name, not Ralph. And but it said Ralop. And then somebody started laughing. Oh, Ralop, Ralop. But one of my friends, he didn't know that it was Ralop anymore. And then he made of it, he said, hey, roll up. And then everybody started laughing. And it sticked. It was, okay, I'm roll up now. Cool.
And
Which means rolling monkey. Yeah.
do they still call you like that every now and then, or?
Yeah, some people do. Yeah, when I'm at the gym and I see some friends of way back, and they go, "Hey, roll up." Yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
Okay, one
It's
more
like
thing
people
I want
still call me Attacker Jopke, you know? It's like
to
so.
karaoke. Yeah.
You know, when I saw you for the first time, I thought, "Whoa, that guy is a real attacker."
Hey, exactly.
Rough boy.
Yeah.
I remember that was in Star Beach.
Oh, was that the first time you met each other?
No, I think
No.
this was maybe only with Marlon.
Yeah.
Marlon and Appie or
But you were
something.
an attacker back then, I heard.
Actually, we had once had a gaming
From
tournament in my
behind.
high school.
Hide your daughters.
We had a gaming
Yeah.
tournament in my high school, and
Hide
I
your
was named
pets.
attacker, but we were playing Unreal Tournament, capture the flag, and I was defending our flag. And
Oh,
then one guy, I kept killing him, and he was screaming, like land party on school, and he was screaming from the other side, "Attacker isn't defender! Attacker isn't defender!" And he was so like frustrated because I kept like camping out at our own flag, killing
yeah.
him.
Uh,
It was really funny.
Dude, LAN parties were the best.
Ah, amazing,
Whoa,
amazing.
those things don't happen anymore.
Kids these days will
no,
never
no.
know what that is.
Why
You
Playing
would
Red
you?
Alert,
you
playing all
haven't
sorts of
lived
Oh,
stuff.
red alert, yeah. Oh
until you've
man.
lived through a LAN party with at least 20 people. Like in one
Oh,
house, everyone brought their computers,
yeah.
chips,
Hey,
and
I went
beer.
on the
Yeah, yeah,
bicycle with
yeah,
my big desktop like this. I'm coming.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh,
fuck,
amazing.
we're old. Uh, so nice.
That was
Okay,
fun though.
so on that topic, one last point I wanted to mention, which he closed off in the email, which I thought was yeah, kind of nailed it.
We're
He
still
said,
talking about the email. That's
yeah, I just saw a few things. I
unexpected.
thought that's interesting to mention because I think it's happening at this point. And he also mentioned like the music industry is entering a new era, and I
Oh,
think that's true.
give it to
Okay.
me.
I think the normal from the last couple of years of how we are used to promote our music, to release our music, to talk to our fans, all those things are shifting, and I think it has to do with new technologies. It has to do with what we've learned from COVID. We as a society have changed a lot. I think a lot of things are changing, and artists should adopt
To what?
to the new status quo.
And what's the new status quo?
More interest in your relationships with your fans. So spend more time with your super fans and less time with bullshit people following you on TikTok. Um, Release a lot of music. Try to avoid labels who don't add value. Um, yeah, do live streams. I think that that's also really important. Like things like this.
I do like it, but I gotta say, yeah, I like these kind of talks. I really like when people come in and have comments or jokes about my accent or whatever. And but I can also, when there's artists that don't like it and don't do it, that's fine by me as well. I think nowadays there's no real truth anymore. You can just be whoever you want to be
Yeah, and I think that
and
that's the
be fine
paradigm
with it.
shift
Yeah,
because that hasn't
some
always
wise
been.
words.
It hasn't always been like that.
Yeah, I think so too. There was like a real you could kind of tell also which DJs were really making their own music, and there's a lot of bullshit artists now that are not bullshit artists, but that artists that are bullshitting
Mhm.
online and like like talking about the
Ah,
scene,
yeah,
but
man.
they have
I
no idea
do
what they're
get
talking about,
frustrated by it
or
sometimes.
GPT made their tweets, or it's just like, and people don't see through it,
No.
which is, yeah, so I think that's right.
I do
The
think
truth
people
isn't
see through it. Can't
um
imagine them being so
it's
stupid.
becoming more difficult. It's becoming more difficult, and it's, yeah, there's some examples I won't name, but it's just always
I
for me
know who
like
you're thinking about.
Me too.
yeah, we all know.
Yeah.
um Sorry, Tiesto, but your time has come.
This is it.
Now, I can say who I really like online, and that's James Hype. I
You do
adore the
like him?
guy. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
really like
What
because
what what is it that you like mostly about him
he's a
online?
craftsman. He really shows what he's doing. He has no secrets whatsoever. He talks to everybody like real genuine. I kind of, it's something that's not for me, comes naturally. and but he also shows what he does. He tells everybody why he does it. And I also, I at some point, sometimes I said on my sign by, if people don't show it, they can't do it, because I like the craftsmanship. I like how he DJs, how he produces, and he just shows what he does, and that he knows what he's doing, and he's really passionate about his craft, and that's making, presenting, playing music.
Yeah. I think what you mentioned right now, that's something that is becoming more and more important, the craftsmanship. I think we go back to the era where craftsmanship matters again.
Yeah, but people are fooled, because sometimes I see people on TikTok
True.
with like this pad, and they go like, "Bow,
Yeah.
bow," and that's not how it
You know,
works. It's just playbacking your Milli Vanilli,
you
but
know
people
which
still eat it up. It's have
Yeah.
2,000
And I think
comments.
that will keep happening, but I do think subconsciously we notice real craftsmanship. Like,
Yeah, but and then they sit with their laptop in this
that
nice
yeah.
scenery, whatever. They don't make
I
the
was just gonna
fucking
say
music right
that's the
there.
funniest.
Wake the fuck up. They all
Those
sit in little cabins like this,
those are
smelling
the
like
funniest.
sweat.
Those are my favorite TikToks. Some guy standing in the forest with his laptop. Imagine this on a festival, and then they're
Yeah,
standing there with
but
a
I do
laptop,
gotta
like,
say, like Aaron Hybel, who really makes the most beautiful music. He does it too. I get it. It's part of the marketing thing, and I like, man. I'm a fanboy of his, but also, and I see him sitting like, oh, imagine this and blah blah blah, and but he's the real deal, because he also shows some things. I don't mind, but some people are all about the show continuously, and fuck it, I do it as well sometimes. Yeah.
I
But
sometimes I sometimes get clients who talk about your TikToks as an example.
being
They
bad or good?
good as in they
Bad.
appreciate that you are having so much um yeah, that you just don't give a fuck. Like that's what they appreciate. Like you just upload it, you don't care
it's
about your accents,
it's
you just
Oh
part
no,
of
but
being real.
oh, the TikToks, you mean the talks we have?
yeah, the talks, but also like you also sometimes you post those tutorial kind of things.
Yeah, but I have a hard time how to present it, man.
I
It's
think it's
yeah,
the part that
cracks my
people like
mind.
is that it's so real. It's
Mm,
like I remember Oliver Heldens doing his radio show. And
yeah.
then I heard him like really like because he sometimes stutters in real life, and then I heard him like on the radio, like national radio, just stuttering and doing like funny. He talked a bit funny, but I was like, hey, this is so cool because it's
Yeah.
how I know him, and it's how
I
I talk
also
to him as well. And then I was like,
Heldens is
hey,
one of those
that's really
guys. I
cool.
really
Yeah,
like his
yeah,
socials.
yeah,
I
because
mean,
he's
I get the
real.
feeling I get to know him,
Yeah,
and I
But
know him a
isn't
little
there
bit.
is one word which stands out throughout this whole thing, which is authenticity. That is
Definitely, yeah.
becoming more and more
I
important
do
these
want to
days.
say, Heldens, reply to my app, man. Come on, dude.
Listen to his demo.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Listen to the
true.
demo.
I sent him like a week ago. He hasn't responded yet.
So even big artists get like
No, that's how the
ignored.
world works. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe he just missed it, because to be honest, my WhatsApp also says bad at responding. And sometimes I'll be like, I'll respond later, and then I just forget it. Yeah.
That's how it works.
It's also up to me to remind him or send him even more shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff, music.
To everyone listening in on Instagram or YouTube right now, if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat, and we'll try to pick a few from them and talk about it.
This is very random, but you guys coughed almost at the same time, and then I
No,
was
I was
thinking,
mimicking him.
oh, okay. But then I was just thinking very randomly. Imagine if you cough. There's like thousands of people, if not millions, that cough at the exact same time. Isn't that
So
amazing?
that's what you think about?
Yeah, I just thought about that.
Dude.
I just thought
What's
about that.
going
Like,
on
wow,
inside your mind?
Yeah.
is that? Well, I'm
Did
just
you
telling
know
you.
that
Check
when
it
you
out.
yawn, like, and if you then also have to yawn, it means that you like the person that yawned.
No, it shows you're not a psychopath. Actually,
Oh,
yeah, it
yawn?
shows you have like compassion or whatever. And even talking about yawning, I'm
Jobke is a
feeling it.
psychopath.
I'm feeling
But
it.
yeah,
I'm
you
feeling
just
the yawn.
mentioned that you think about coughing people simultaneously. dude,
And
It's
your
all
name
get
is
mixed
help.
Attacker
emotions. If you
Jopke.
have all that together,
Yeah, get help.
Attacker Jopke. Yeah, let's go.
take you up in the
If only
building.
we knew a good coach, huh?
Yeah, if only. Hey, we've got questions. Um,
It's almost time. I do have the accountant sitting outside.
is it night one?
Always the fucking account.
You know he pays
Yeah,
per
he always
hour,
comes
right?
on Wednesday. Yeah.
You know you pay him per hour. Huh?
I know, but he's working, I
Oh,
think.
then it's fine. Okay. Um, how do you start music? Like, will you start with chords or kicks or any other? From Visharal.
I can tell you how I started the project last Monday evening.
Yeah.
It's different every time, but this is how it can start. I heard a track by Tiesto, and I was like, "Hey, that kick and bass combination I really like, so I'm gonna get that track into my project."
Was it thank you?
It wasn't, thank you, no.
Which one was
But I then the one with Rehab, the newer one. I don't know
Okay.
exactly what it's called, but then I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna analyze that kick. I'm gonna like listen to the frequencies, cut the highs, see what's that kick doing, how is it?" And then I tried to remake that kick. Then I tried to remake that bass, and it all sounds slightly different, but still good. And then I was like, hey, then I need some kind of lead on top. Made a lead, and then I made a break. And now I'm hoping to finish the first version today. So that's how a
But it's
project
different
can
each
start.
time, right?
It's
You
different each
don't.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get triggered going through Splice or whatever, or you're working in a project and you do some stuff and you think, oh, this might is also a cool idea for, but not for now. And it can be all this depends on what you're trying to make. Whenever I want to make this like ridiculous over the top techno stuff, I start with kick. Yeah, because
Okay.
the kick has to be ridiculous. Yeah.
Another question that came in was where is it? Here it is. Bassjackers released 15 tracks last year, but if he had to guess, how many would he say he actually produced that year?
12.
Oh, he just left.
He's out. That's
Oh, there
cheeky,
you
Ralph.
are.
That's very cheeky.
Am I back?
Yeah, your mic
Yeah, on
just
the
popped
wrong
out.
mic.
Yeah.
But
Ah,
he,
fuck.
he was
Yeah.
you were gonna say 10, weren't you?
No. Nothing, man.
I
I
just
go on
worked- my
holiday
ghost
all year
producer.
long.
My ghost producer made it all.
I have this army sitting outside. It's not my accountant. No, but I think what he means, how much did you make and how much came out?
No, there's two
Yeah,
questions. One, how much percentage of the tracks that you've made have actually been released? And the follow-up question is, how much tracks did you made? And wait,
that's the
Just
same
basically,
question.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
the
so
15
yeah, that's
released,
kind of the
is
same
there like
question.
100 you made or 80 or
No. I don't make that many. Most of the stuff that I make is actually to be released. I know pretty early on, like this can be something. But yeah, there's I think double maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that also is different when you're I think 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I had more projects that I finished that weren't good enough to release, and now, like Ralph said, I think you hear earlier in the process like, oh, this can become something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's also if you have less time and then you need some experience, yeah, years of
And you
experience
just need to do more than ever. I mean, when we started, or back in 2014, if you did one track each 2 months, that was okay. But now you have to do one track a month minimal. And
you don't
yeah,
have to, but
you just work more efficient. You have to.
Yeah.
you don't
And
have
you
to.
talk before, like, is this going to work? Or,
You don't
yeah.
have to. You don't have to. But it's beneficial to your career if you do.
Yeah,
To release a
definitely.
month. Once a month, you mean?
Yeah.
Hey, you can also make nothing or make one track in 5 years. That is a big hit. But that has a little bit more of a risk to it.
Less
Yeah.
chances, less opportunities.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
also this famous yeah, there was a university in the US, photography or something, and then a whole semester one group of the students was given the task to make one very good photo, focus on one photo, and then the other group was say make as many photos as you can, deliver as many photos as you can. That's the task for that semester, and then the results in the I mean, the photo is always kind of subjective if you like it, but the results in the group that had to make a lot, like their best photos were way better than
Yeah,
the people who had to make one.
Learning by doing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like molding your craft.
Yeah.
And
My
anything can
daughter
be
always
like,
says in Dutch, van proberen kun je leren.
You can learn from
When you
trying.
try, you learn. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
nice.
people always told me op een oude fiets kan je het leren, maar
Yeah, you can
I
also
don't know
learn
what
it
that
on
is
an
then,
old
eh?
bike. Yeah, that's true. They know tricks.
What is that then, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Just buy an old PC. That's
Are
what
we
I
going to
do.
talk about hardcore porn now? Because I requested that.
You requested it, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't came through. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
other podcast.
Can we do one more?
We can do one more.
Let's see. If you wanted to play at a festival like Creamfields, would your booking agent contact the promoter and offer your service there, or would you or would you chase them? Like, is it your booker who contacts the events, or do you do it yourself?
Everything is possible. You can contact people yourself, your booker. You have to be a team about it, make an approach. But usually, I mean, if you're as big as Garrix or Tiesto, they will come for you. But underneath, yeah, there's just you need more push. So you ask your booker, do you know anybody there? And he says yes or no.
It
Yeah.
is also a free for all. So if you know someone that knows someone at Greenfield, just contact them. Say, hey, like Ralph said, everything's possible. So through
Yeah.
agents, through
Yeah.
myself, through Instagram, send the organizer or someone you know works there a DM.
And the smaller you are, the more
Respectful
push
DM,
you
like
need.
just be like, hey, yeah. Don't spam them though. Don't like send a message every week, but just send a message or an email, professional, like, hey,
Take the
I'm this and
plane,
that.
go to their home,
Stalk them.
give them a box of chocolate.
Attack a jobke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change your name in my phone.
I don't stalk. That's not always.
Next time you want to call Jopke, you don't know anymore. Fuck, what was it
There's a
again?
difference. There's a difference between being eager and stalking.
Eager
What's
and
For
desperate.
yourself to decide, but yeah, exactly. Eager and desperate. There's a big difference.
Yeah. You know, this I saw this on TikTok. There was this girl and there was this guy walking next to her, and he tried to get her attention, and she said to him, It's scary." But that made me think, if the guy was really handsome and she liked him, then his behavior wouldn't be I don't know,
interpreted?
as being creepy. It's kind of it's slippery, kind of like
Yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
But it has to do with human skills, as in you have to
Yeah.
feel if you're welcome to do it, yes or no. You know, it's
Yeah.
a soft skill to know to read the
Are you
room. It's
saying?
a skill.
No, but the
Are you
same
saying there's a
behavior.
thin-
Yeah, let's say Tiesto comes to the doorstep of the promoter and gives him a box of chocolate, or me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would interpret the same action differently.
Yeah.
Because with Tiesto, they
Ralph,
would be, wow,
you-
how nice.
Ralph, are you saying that
Oh.
there's a thin line between flirting and sexual harassment? Is that where you're going with this?
I don't know if it was sexual harassment. Is that also sexual harassment? Man, I'm such a
No,
boomer.
but like
A
you were
lot of-
talking about the girl being.
No, my point I wanted to make is that the same behavior could be interpreted
Yeah.
really different if the sender is different. But yeah,
Yeah.
interpreted.
Okay. We're gonna close it off.
I think it's a nice one to close off now. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's smart to
Time
close
to
off
stop.
before we get cancelled in any kind of way.
No.
If you are not part of the Artist Coaching Discord yet, but you do want to, make sure that you
Sign
join
up.
now.
Sign up.
The link is in the bio on the Instagram page, and it's in the description of the video on YouTube as well. We do bi-weekly Q&As there, so feel free to join.
And I have a new track out.
Shameless plug time. Let's go. New
Yeah,
track.
listen to my new track On My Way. It's with a vocal by James, but he's not featuring on the record. But he is still singing on the record. Okay.
That's also shitty when you have a singer that kind of breaks through before your track is released.
Yeah.
Then they don't want to feature anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
get
but
Yeah.
I gun him. I don't know how you say that in.
No, yeah, I gun him
Him
too.
very good. He has a track with
I
Garrett.
gun him.
So,
Oh, what?
but just so you
Attack
know,
me
he's
up,
not featuring, but he is on my record.
Okay.
yeah. So
Hey, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, go to www.basscheckers.com and subscribe to the website. All the info is there, and you can check out new releases, live sets.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do it right now.
and if you are an artist who wants to build his artist career, or maybe he wants to keep it sustainable, make sure to check out artistcoaching.nl. And yeah, we will be back next week with a special guest, actually, with Werner Charms. Will you be there as well, Jay, or are you gone?
Yeah, I will be there.
Okay, so we have 4 people next week.
4 people?
4! Should
Hey,
be a
maybe
lot
we
of
can
fun.
do the live version that day
Yeah, we're gonna do it live.
in real life.
Oh, no. It's
Oh.
not going to
Maybe
work.
that's possible. We have to check.
Okay.
But we'll be back next week. Thanks to everyone
And just
checking in
for
on
everybody to
YouTube
know,
and on Instagram.
there will be a
Bye-bye.
real live version soon.
Yeah,
recorded.
there's gonna be a real life version. True. Exactly.
You're invited. You can buy tickets on basecheckers.com.
Ticket sale. Bye everyone.